Today, we're taking a deep dive into the writ of habeas corpus, the foundational safeguard that empowers any person detained by the government to challenge the legality of their imprisonment before an independent judge. Habeas corpus, from the Latin "you shall have the body," ensures that no individual can be held indefinitely or arbitrarily without meaningful judicial review. When a court issues a writ of habeas corpus, it compels the detaining authority, whether a local jail, a federal prison, or a military commander, to present the detained person before the court and justify the detention under law. This critical check prevents secret or prolonged imprisonment and guards against abuses of executive power. At the heart of this protection lies the suspension clause of the U.S. Constitution. Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2 declares that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. Importantly, only Congress holds the power to suspend the writ, and only in the narrow circumstances of a genuine rebellion or an actual armed invasion threatening national security. The clause deliberately prohibits the president or the courts from unilaterally halting habeas review. Throughout American history, Congress has invoked this extraordinary measure only for times during the Civil War to suppress the Confederate rebellion, in World War I to detain enemy aliens, in World War II alongside Japanese-American internment, and briefly in the early 1950s during the Korean War era. Each suspension was strictly limited in scope and duration, and in every case it provoked intense debate over the balance between national security and individual liberty. In recent months, high-level advisors have floated the idea of suspending habeas corpus to accelerate migrant deportations, framing large-scale border crossings as an invasion that might justify extraordinary measures. Yet constitutional experts uniformly emphasize that mass migration is neither a rebellion nor an armed attack, and that any suspension would demand clear congressional authorization. Moreover, courts have consistently rebuffed efforts to equate nonviolent movements of people with the kind of military invasion envisioned by the framers. As we consider these modern proposals, the enduring lesson is that habeas corpus remains the linchpin of American justice. It represents the promise that every person, citizen or non-citizen alike, has the right to question the government's power to deprive them of liberty. Any attempt to sidestep this check on authority must confront both the precise text of the Constitution and the weight of historical precedent. In this light, the writ of habeas corpus endures not just as a relic of legal history, but as a living guarantee of individual freedom against unchecked detention.